Okay, so we have learnt almost all the rules of chess. We've learnt how all the pieces move, and you may recall that I said at some point that the king cannot be captured. The reason why the king cannot be captured is because of a rule in chess called check and another rule called checkmate, which you've probably heard because that word has entered into the sphere of popular culture. So, check is very simple. In theory, check is simply when the king is attacked. In this position, let's say it is white to move. This rook over here is attacking this bishop, okay? When I say attacking, all I mean is that if it was white's move, white could take the bishop, just like that. Let's have a look at what else is attacking what else. So this black knight is attacking this pawn. Just because it's attacking it doesn't mean it's a good move to take it. In fact, this would be a bad move because white can recapture the knight with the pawn, and that is not a good exchange. But it's still good to look at the board and see what is attacking what. So when you attack the king, a slightly different set of rules apply. So let's say it's white's move and white shifts the rook horizontally to the d1 square. So that's d1. The rook is attacking the king, okay? Now, logically, you would say that if black did, let's say any move, say a random move, then white would be able to go up the board and capture the king. And a lot of people would say, I win the game because I got the king. But that's actually not how chess works. You can never capture the king in chess, okay? So then what happens, you might ask? I'm attacking the king. What does black do? Well, if black does a move like this, what should I do as white? If I can't take the king, what was the point of me attacking the king? Well, let's go back a move. Actually, black is not allowed to do this move in this position. This is what we would call an illegal move. Nothing to do with crime. Illegal just means, in chess terms, it just means it's against the rules of the game of chess. You're not allowed to do that move. If you were playing on a computer, you would drag your mouse here, and as you let go of the mouse, it would just swing back here. The computer would say, no, you can't do that move, okay? When your king is in check, you must respond accordingly. And the easiest way, in my opinion, to remember the three options that you have is A, B, C, okay? A stands for avoid. So avoid is simply moving your king out of danger, okay? So that's an example of an avoid move. I'm just moving my king out of the way. This is check. Sorry, guys. This is a check move. Okay, king is attacked. King moves. King is no longer attacked. The second way to get out of check is to block, and that's what B stands for. So block is when you use another one of your pieces to get in the way of the check. So this is the check over here. The rook is slicing down the board. If I put my bishop here, then my king is no longer attacked because the rook is now attacking the bishop. So the bishop kind of intercepts the attack. And the final way to get out of check is capture. So maybe you could pause the video and try to find a move for black. Which one of these black pieces can actually capture the rook? Well done if you saw that the black bishop here can actually slice through, take the rook. And now it's not check because there's no rook anymore. The rook has exited the board, okay? So once again, A, B, C. A for avoid, B for block, C for capture. So the best move in this position is definitely to capture the rook, okay? But for the purpose of demonstration, I want to look at avoid, okay, which is the first option. Now, there's actually not that many squares that this king can move to, and I think this is important to illustrate. Why is it not possible for the king to go there? Well, this is what we call moving into check, okay? This is not allowed. This is another illegal move. The reason why you can't do that is because this is actually check from the knight. So the knight over here, it controls this square and it controls this square. Control just means it can move there, okay? It's within the knight's range, okay? It also controls this square over here, okay? So if this bishop was to go here, then the knight can take the bishop. But because we're talking about the king here, Okay, if the king goes there, it's not that the knight can take the king, because you can never take the king in check. It's simply that this move is illegal. You cannot do it, because the king has moved into check. Let's look at another move. Let's say the king moves forward 1 square. This is again illegal, because this is still check from the rook. And similarly, if the king goes back, the rook. If the king goes here, it's check from the knight. If the king goes here, which piece is preventing the king from moving there? You can pause the video and have a look. Yes, correct. It is the bishop. The bishop here is controlling. Just by you. Sorry about that, guys. The king cannot move here because the bishop controls that square. So actually, by process of elimination, the only square that the king can move to is this one over here. Okay? So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Check is not so easy. It might take you a little bit of time to understand it, but once you do, it makes a lot of sense. Thank you, guys.